the Holy Spirit never had forgiveness, but it is subject to eternal con- command- commandment or condemnation. Is it condemnation or commandment?
Condemnation.
Oh, condemnation. Verse 30. Because they said he has an unclean spirit. Verse 31. Then his brothers and his mother came, and standing outside they sent to him, calling him. Verse 32. And a multitude was sitting around him, and they said to him, look, your mother and your father and your brothers, oh my goodness, saying, get off my shoulders, get behind me, brothers, and outside seeking you. Verse 23. But he answered them, saying, who is my mother or my brothers? Verse 24. And he looked around in a circle at those who sat about him, and said, here are my mother and my brothers. Verse 35. For whoever does the will of God is my brother and my sister and my mother. So yes, we have to do God's will. Mm-hmm. I'm no, I'm going to Luke chapter 6, verse 6. Now it happened on the other Sabbath also he entered the synagogue and taught, and a man was there whose right hand was withered. Verse 11. But they were filled with rage and discussed with one another what they might do to Jesus. I'm doing Luke chapter 13. Verse 14. But the ruler of the synagogue answered with indignation because Jesus had healed on the Sabbath, and he said to the crowd, there are 6 days on which man out to work. Therefore come and be healed on them, and not on the Sabbath day. Under Luke chapter 14, verse 1. Now it happened, as he went into the house of one of the rulers of the Pharisees to eat bread on the Sabbath, that they watched him closely. Under Luke chapter 20. Verse 20. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be righteousness, that they might seize on his words in order to deliver him to the power and the authority of the governor. Under Zechariah chapter 7. Verse 12. Yes, they made their hearts like flints, refusing to hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts had sent by his Spirit through the former prophets, does great worth came from the Lords of hosts. Wrath came from the Lords of hosts. Do Matthew chapter 22. Verse 16. And they sent to him their disciples with the Herodians.
The following pronunciation is brought to you by Biblespeak.org. Here's how to pronounce Herodian.
Herodians, saying, Teacher, we know that you are true and teach the way of God in truth, nor do you care about anyone, for you do not regard the person of man. To Mark chapter 12, verse 13. Mark chapter 12, verse 13. Then they sent to him some of the Pharisees, and he
Pennsylvania, we know signatures.
Herodians to catch him in his words. Bleh. Luke chapter 6, verse 17. And he came down with them and stood on a level place with a crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all Judah and Jerusalem and from the seacoast of Tyre and Sidon, who came to hear him and be healed of their diseases. I repeat that. Do Mark chapter 5, verse 19. However, Jesus did not permit him, but said to him, Go home to your friends and tell them what great things the Lord had done for you, and how he had compassion on you. I try to sing to my aid and my family, but that's all I can do. Pray for them. They're too lost.